Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on doing your cooking skill, guys. We are over inside West Freeport, as you can see. Not a lot of people on tonight. We're right at the entrance. We're going to start here each and every time so that you guys have a point of reference. For those who don't know the city that well, I don't want to just assume you watched the last episode and that you're coming in with the knowledge of how to get to where we last left off. So we're going to start here each and every time. We're going to run through the place that we're looking for in here, guys is one that we've actually already been to once. They sold I think it was the bat wings that we got from her last time. Oh, went a little too far. You want to go down this little path. It's a lot easier. No real big turns that you have to go down. Really, it's just kind of a straight path until you get to the end of the wall, and then you can take a right. If you go left, that is where the Mage Guild is, and you can buy. I think maybe they had the bat wings, and she had the frosting. So we're gonna buy this stuff from her this time, and she has jug of sauce. That's what we're looking for. Make sure you don't go too far and go down here. We'll be going down that exit pretty soon, but you need to pick up the jug of sauce first from this NPC just around the corner. There is something else that you might want to pick up from her as well, which is something I'll show you here when you scroll down all the way. You'll see that she actually has a spit, and if you look at it, it's a closed container. That's all it really tells you about it, but it's used in cooking. It weighs 3 pounds, the capacity is only 6, and it carries giant items. No weight reduction whatsoever, so it's just going to add more weight to you. But it's kind of like a sewing kit. It's going to allow you to make food on the go, so if you don't want to run back to a cooking place, a stove or whatever it is, the oven, you need to definitely go ahead and pick one of these up. But the items that you really need to go ahead and buy so that you can level up your skill through the next set is right over here. Where is it? I passed. There it is. Jug of sauce, and it cost 1 silver a piece. Now, I've actually already bought a whole bunch of it, and we've been making stuff for it. It's fairly easy to do. Now, you're supposed to buy 10 stacks of jug sauce and 30 stacks of fish. I didn't do that. I don't think I need that many, to be honest. My skill went up a lot faster on the last one than it did on this one. It went up a lot faster than it does for most people, I should say. So I don't think I need all of that. But you're more than welcome to follow the tutorial and go ahead and buy that. I think it just involves a little bit more running in case you run out. But I don't mind running. I don't mind spending a little bit extra time rather to save myself the hassle of going back to sell the stuff I don't use. Now we're coming over here. This is not where we need to go right now to buy the other piece, but this is where you can go to go ahead and use the oven if you don't have one of those little spits yourself. Although right there, you can buy one. So if you're low on cash and that's why you're not buying one, or you're just like, I'm never going to use that on the go, I don't need that, especially with the added weight, then okay, I can understand that, and you definitely can avoid that. This is to East Freeport, which is exactly where we're going. I don't think I came in this entrance last time, but you're more than welcome to do that. The entrance I'm going to show you is the one that you're more likely to be next to once you buy that jug of sauce. So we're going to go back a little ways. We're going to backtrack a little bit. It's not right there yet. It's down this way. Okay, so it's easy to get lost in this city. I never really came here back in the day to spend a lot of time. This is, I was always over in like Kinos or the High Elf City, mainly the High Elf City, to be honest, because that's just where I get all my stuff, my spells. I know everything's there. And, you start there, you get very comfortable with the city that you start in. So, I kind of gravitated towards that. Or with my evil character, my dark elf, I spent a lot of time over in my dark elf city, over in the Nariok Forest. So, yeah, it's just you get very familiar with one. So maybe you started over here as a human and you know the city a whole lot better than I do. And that's going to serve you pretty well. It's one of the easiest places to level up your skill. Now, each race has somewhere they can go. Sometimes, though, if you're playing like an evil race, you're going to have to travel a little bit further away than, say, somebody who's playing a high elf. And I just went around in a circle right there. Yeah, you want to follow this wall all the way through to the docks. You're going to, what's it called? I just had it in the top of my head. He is over, I can't even think of the name of it now. It's the Point Authority or the Dock Authority, something like that. He's over in that region. You're going to, go into the building and go upstairs, and he's going to be standing up there, and you can buy fish from him, the fresh fish that you're going to be getting. And then I'm going to show you how to make the recipe. It's just one of each, one jug sauce and one fish, and that's going to make you 2 fillets if you succeed. If you fail, of course, it makes you nothing. So this is the bottom floor right here. You can kind of come around the corner and go upstairs, if you can call this an upstairs. And this is the guy we're looking for right here. And of course, you can see people have already sold them the fish fillets, 296. So somebody has been doing this recently. But you want this item right here. It's the fresh fish, and it sells for 2 silver and 6 copper. And you're going to want, according to the walkthrough, you're going to want 30 of those. But I would highly suggest you use the little spit there and buy only what you need, because you're not going to get that back if you try to sell. In fact, if I come in here and try to sell him a stack, you'll see it goes from 2 silver, 4 copper, and then when I try to buy it, it goes to 2 silver, 6 copper. So you're losing 2 copper on the transaction. It may not sound like a lot, but that's 2 copper per fish, and you're selling them, what, 15, 20 stacks, however many you have left over. You're going to lose a little bit of money, and since it doesn't cost that much anyways to do this skill, that may be another hour that you get to spend, and another 10 or 15 levels that you get to progress by saving yourself that extra little cost. So it's completely up to you. If you got money to burn, go ahead and buy what you need and use the convenience of saving yourself a little bit of time. For me, though, I'm definitely going to try to penny pinch as much as I possibly can, just because I'm not overflowing with cash, and there's still a lot of other stuff that I want to buy. So what you want to do is hold down the control button and then just get into a rhythm here. You'll see that sometimes, oh, that's already completely filled up, so we made 1 full stack. In fact, let me move this, because for some reason I've gotten in the habit, like this is where I always put my finished product, and it just goes a little quicker, because I'm always kind of just anticipating that I might get one now. The first, I would say 10 times I did this, 10 or 20 times actually, probably somewhere in there, I didn't even make one. So again, it was a lot like the first stage where we made the bat wings. The first 20 levels, actually, the first 20 skill points that I got, I made just a handful of actual recipes. So these fail quite a bit. And even once I maxed it out, to be honest, it didn't succeed as much as I thought it would be. So I think what it's going to come down to is when you finally do get to the point where you are wanting to make an item, especially for something like jewelry where it's expensive, because I've mentioned this in the past with that one, you're going to want more skill points than you need to make that. Make it where it's like trivial instead of just like even or something like that, so that you don't fail, or at least there's a high chance that you won't fail, rather than, like with the food, I am just not making it often. So maybe there's a skill, like stamina or agility or something that might affect that I need to go ahead and throw on when I'm making something like this. Or maybe there's items out there. I know later on in the game with future expansions, they did start adding items in there for trade crafting and harvesting and all sorts of other stuff out there. I don't think any of them are in the game, to be honest. I'm kind of glad that they're not. I like having to learn the recipe and having to sit here and make it again and again, and putting the items in one at a time. I did this in Everquest 2, and to be honest, guys, it just it wasn't as satisfying because I never really learned the recipe. I just clicked the button. It was literally that easy. Oh, I have the items on me. Click the button. It makes it, or it doesn't make it. Almost always it made the item. You may have not got, I think with the food you could have like 3 or 4 items made at the same time for like sandwiches. And if you failed, you only got like 1. Or at the very least, you got your fuel back. So you really lost nothing except time. And that's just a little bit too easy, like it doesn't cost you anything, which means anybody can do it anytime they feel like it. And that means everybody can do it except the people who don't have the time. And if you're playing a game like this, a lot of people have the time. So all the trades crafting skills are, done by every single player pretty much. And therefore they mean nothing. And you can never really find somebody to commission you something because they're just like, oh, go do it yourself. And in like an hour, you'll be maxed out and you'll never have to ask anybody again. Which means nobody's buying your stuff. And therefore, there's no real big need to do it other than that you're left out because nobody will sell it to you. And then once you make the broker, people put their extra stuff on there anyways. And now you don't need to do it yourself. And you're still not making any money off of it. So, yeah, I kind of like the system they got in here. It works. It creates an economy and a need for people to spend the time like I'm doing to make these items. Now, food, I don't think I've ever seen anybody go like out of their way to find food. It's just something that they pick up when they have the opportunity to do so, and yeah, that's pretty much it. They just if they have extra cash, they might buy like the good stuff, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they really worry about that too much. The high end raids probably. They probably the guilds anyways will buy like the really really good food. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna get rich doing this. This is just kind of for fun because I haven't done it before, and I just want to see what kind of interesting mills we can make and how far up the skill tree we can go before we run out of cash. Now, I've given myself 50 platinum to do this. This is usually the money that I carry on me for like emergency teleports or things of that sort. When the gang gets on, I can at least donate a little portion of that. 50 platinum isn't enough for like 5 of us. We'll donate like 70 sometimes, but we haven't really had to do that recently. So I know I kind of feel comfortable using it. And of course, I have like 600-700 platinum in the bank, but I don't want to touch that. I have new level spells coming up pretty soon, and you guys are probably like, oh, that's crazy. Those will never cost you that much money. Well, they might. Higher level spells you get, the more money they cost, and the better the spell is, the more money they cost. And, my next level spells are supposed to be pretty nice. So I'm kind of, preparing for the storm, which is going to be all my cash going out the window. But I think it's a fair trade. I want those spells. It's something that I've been looking forward to, so I'm willing to give up the cash. But yeah, that's why I'm only putting out 50 platinum for this, and I'm already down to 39 with all the items that I've bought. But of course, you can see that I have some fish fillets that I've been making right here. And in fact, let me show you what the stats is. It's just a mill. It doesn't actually have any physical stats to it. And again, like I said before, the reason they do that is because you can buy all these items. So if you find items like bear meat or wolf meat, and you try to make sandwiches out of it, like I said last time, those will give you stats. But at the early stages, the stats that they give you are both positive and negative, which means it might give you 1 strength, but it takes away 1 stamina. Or it might give you 1 stamina and takes away 1 agility. So you're getting a plus and a minus with it. I think at the later levels, you get rid of the minus and it's just a plus. Plus, if I can throw that in again, they last longer. So it's not like the, rations you buy in the store that only last whatever it is. I think it's like 45 minutes a piece. These will last like an hour and a half or 2 hours or sometimes longer. So it does promote you to go ahead and, buy some of this stuff from other people if you got like the throwaway income and you really need the storage space, because you can just buy more food and hold it on you. It's going to weigh more because you're holding more of it. So that might be another reason if you're playing a monk or something like that and you're very limited on the amount of weight that you can carry and you don't want to be running back to town to buy more food all the time. This is, an option for you to go ahead and buy some of this stuff that players have made. But guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here because we have finally gotten to our target right there, which is 82. I want to get to 82 on the skill. In fact, I don't think even if we keep doing it, we'll get anything out of it. Do I have any more frosting left? No, I do not have any more frosting left. So I used all of the frosting, but I didn't use anywhere near the amount of fish. Oh, wow, that's pretty nuts, guys. I think I only bought 6 stacks of frosting, and we have 6 stacks of food. So almost an even trade considering that a lot of them failed. But because you get that extra 2, yeah, you're gonna come out pretty close. It's not an even 6 stacks. You can see I've already eaten 1, and then there's only 14 down here on the bottom one. So, not an even trade. But and then of course now I have to sell these fish. I really, 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 really wish I had taken my own advice and bought a lot less of them. I think I will do that on the next one, because we do have this bit that we can move around with us, and I don't have to keep running back and forth and worry about being overweight like I am right now. But guys, thanks again for watching, and I will show you the next episode and where you need to go, pretty soon here. So leave those comments down below.